Warning! The following audio may contain coarse language and other material that may not be suitable for a younger audience. Viewer discretion is advised. Also, we may spoil anything and everything, so you have been warned.
I can't remember how I'm opening this, but I'm gonna open it unless Jeanne wants to.
Sure, let me do it.
Okay, if you fuck up, I'm correcting you mid-call.
Okay.
Be prepared.
Let me just take a deep breath first.
Oh my god. Maybe it isn't a good idea to.
I'm very nervous. Okay.
Ready? Ready the intro.
Okay. Count to 5, Tristan.
1, 2.
Wait.
5.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of J-Taku. I'm Jeanne, from Podtaku, and this is my first J-Taku, so yeah, that's me. I'm cool.
There was a pause there right before you said J-Taku, and I thought you were actually going to say
Podtaku. Yeah. No. Okay, so with me today, I have my wonderful co-host, Tristan.
You called me wonderful.
From
That's
Glass
recorded.
Reflection.
That's in a recording now. You can't back out of that.
My wonderful co-host. No, I mean, it's just you and me now, Tristan, alone. We gotta do this. We can't fight in this one.
The crew is kind of here, too.
Anyway, so also with Tristan, I have Kenneth from Full Circle Reviews.
Hi there.
And I have Ciaran from CinWicked Critiques.
Yo.
All right. And then I have Jordan from the History Man's EP.
Yeah, you had me worried there for a second. Like, do you remember what I do on YouTube at all?
Do you notice me, senpai?
I think she has like a post-it note just to remind herself.
I mean, I know I'm pretty much the bottom bitch when it comes to the anime community, but God.
I think Jimmy's the bitch of the anime community, but you're right above him.
Oh, come on. We said we weren't going to make fun of him if he wasn't here to defend himself.
Yeah, we're not allowed to make fun of Jimmy.
All right, I'm sorry. I love you, Jimmy.
We all love you.
I hate you, Jimmy.
Okay, so...
I wonder what his reaction is going to be when he hears all this.
This is assuming
shit.
he's going to hear it. Anyway.
He's probably going to cry himself to sleep. Anyway, so today on J-Taku, we want to talk about the anime that was airing for the fall season, Kyoukai no Kanata.
Or is known in English, Beyond the Boundary.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a great, meaningless title.
Yeah, like a lot of titles that you
there
hear.
has to be some meaning behind it. We just don't know yet.
Actually, no, yeah. No, I think I already know the meaning behind the title. But anyway, if you guys...
Please enlighten us, Jeanne. What is your theory on the meaning behind the name?
Okay, so...
This is going to be good. Grab your popcorn.
Beyond the Boundary. After watching episode 4, which, by the way, there are going to be spoilers in this episode, so if you haven't watched Kyoukai no Kanata, or if you've missed the disclaimer already, you suck, go watch it, then come back to this podcast. But after watching episode 4, I think I finally know what Beyond the Boundary means. Okay. And... let me clear my throat as I explain.
As you gather your thoughts, because you really don't know what you're talking about.
So I think it's no. I can elaborate very well to make bullshit sound pretty good.
So it's bullshit.
It might be. Well, this is bullshit.
You heard it here first, folks. Bullshit incoming.
Okay, Ciaran. I mean, I've bullshitted my way through college. Okay, so
yeah,
I mean,
ditto. I think everyone bullshits their way through college.
That's the only thing I
think
learned.
That's what a college degree is for.
I bullshit my way through J-Taku and Podtaku. Well, no, I don't, because I always get caught. But anyway, so Beyond the Boundary, I think it means beyond the boundary of reality, because basically all of our main characters are what they call dream shade hunters, right? where they hunt dream shades, which are basically these evil spirits, right, that attack certain people, or just actually they don't really attack people, do they? They just kind of linger around, and then really all they've been doing is kind of killing them just to sell their gems. Is that what everybody else's understanding is so far of this show?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, sorry. Just for the people that are watching either the fan sub or the Crunchyroll subs, Dream Shades are the Yomus. Just point out because like I
was confused there for a second because I was watching Crunchyrolls.
I kind of flip flop. Those are the Yomus, the Dream Shades, for anyone that's confused.
Oh, okay.
And the Crunchyroll thing also calls them Spirit World Warriors rather than Dream Shade Warriors.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really elaborate. But well, I'm gonna call them Dream Shades.
Yeah, but continue
because that just sounds cooler. But basically, these witch hunters are just like collecting these dream shades and selling their gems that they get when they defeat them. But I feel like after watching episode 4, once we realized that our main character, whose name I forget, I know the girl's name, it's Mirai. What's the guy's main? What's his name? Akihito. Okay, so after realizing what Akihito is, like, I just see it as being beyond the boundaries of reality because they're sort of not in reality. They have to live in this sort of spiritual realm. Like, they can't live in just one realm. Okay. They have to kind of live in both. So they're not just human, and that's how I'm seeing it, because they are not just normal people, even though they want to be normal people.
Yeah, and they kind of live in this. They kind of live in this world where people are kind of oblivious to what they do. So beyond the boundary is just beyond the boundaries of what people think exist.
It's sort of like it reminds me a little bit of what Madoka Magica did when Madoka is relevant to everything now.
No, Joe. It's funny you bring that up. I'll let you continue, but I just want to point out that I basically have
noticed a lot
many
of similarities.
Parallels. A lot of similarities.
Because firstly, the Spirit World Warriors. I'm still calling the Spirit World Warriors because fuck you, Jeanne.
Okay.
Basically, they're magical girls and guy.
Yeah, and the gems that they collect are pretty much like the grief seeds in Madoka. And the demons that are the Yomu that are fought are a lot like the witches in that people can't see them, that they exist in a different reality.
And also that big, scary, evil demon that everybody was running from.
Walter Perlugas.
Walpurgisnacht.
Oh, yeah.
No, there totally wasn't something similar like that.
Yeah. I can't fucking say it. Walter Perlugas Night. Or something like that.
Walpurgis Night.
It's Walpurgisnacht. It's
German.
You uncultured pleb.
Wow. I never thought of it like that before. I didn't relate Kyoukai no Kanata to Madoka at all. I was actually relating it to Chihiro Furu. No, not Chihiro Furu.
How did this parallel? How did you reach this conclusion, Jeannie?
It's beyond the boundary, Jordan. I mean, what can I say? No, fuck, what is that show?
Which show?
You know what show I'm talking about, Kenneth? Come on, you're Moe Blob genius.
I'm still
Chunibyo.
Chunibyo. I love Chuni.
So I was relating Kyoukai no Kanata to Chihiro Furu a lot. No!
Jeanne, fail. Maybe you need to go lie down for a few minutes.
Just go to your corner.
Someone else talk.
Okay, but I get what Jean's saying is that it does bear some similarities to Chunibyo, but the difference is that all of, in Chunibyo, like all the action sequences and the fighting and stuff, it's all taking in place inside the main girl's head.
Mm-hmm. Well, not just her head, basically everybody's head. It's all imaginary.
Anybody who has Chunibyo, it's taking place inside their head. Yeah. Who has the delusions, the
clear
disease.
distinction here is that beyond the boundary, all of that stuff actually is happening. And then in Chunibyo, that's just in everyone's head, but there's like parallels to what's happening in real life, but it's just mainly real life, like in their heads. That kind of sounds still similar.
Yeah. It's not only that, but like Akihito reminds me so much of, what was his name? The main character in Chunibyo.
Oh,
and
Yuta,
then, Yeah, Yuta. And then Mirai is so similar to Rika. Like, they are you take their personalities and just put them into a different character design, and they are the same people, just about.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, to me, I like that because I really loved Chunibyo, and it's kind of just giving me the same feelings that Chunibyo gave to me. So I like that, but some people might find this unoriginal.
Well,
the thing about it is that it's not so much that it's unoriginal. It's just that it's so unoriginal because this is the same formula that KyoAni has been playing for ever.
It's kind of their shtick.
Well, and the formula itself is kind of copied from Clan.
I know. The problem,
like, if you look at this, it's very similar to both X and Holic.
Mm-hmm.
Triple X Holic.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we ignore
like
the
X,
triple X part because that sends people down a whole different direction.
It's actually tentacles and censorship everywhere.
Yeah. But I mean, the whole we will call in the cleaners. That's remarkably similar to the whole we'll put up a barrier and all the fighting that happens inside the barrier won't actually affect the real world once we reclose the barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Except I like this more than XX Holic.
Okay, well, the similar thing was used in Shakugan no Shana. They had the exact same kind of barrier thing from X, except... Mm-hmm. No, there is no except. It was basically identical.
Yeah.
Except
I mean, it's all a lot of rehashing the same stuff because they're all existing within the same megatech.
Yeah.
Which is the quasi-supernatural in the real world, but behind the awareness of regular people worldview. I mean, it's Harry Potter. It's at 11-year-old Akihito Kanbara has discovered that he is an immortal half-human.
Ciaran, I have to stop you there. The only thing that we could ever call Harry Potter in anime is Familiar of Zero, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Or
that's as
very
close
slightly,
as Harry Potter as we're getting.
Very slightly, Little Witch Academia. Very slightly.
Okay,
but at the same time, I mean, there are
two
parallels because you've got this entire society that's existing below the awareness of humanity that its entire monetary system is based on magic. It's we hunt demons to get the demon crystals. The demon crystals we turn into money. And we have this entire organization, the Spirit World Hunter Union, basically, that is effectively a ministry for magic.
Mm-hmm.
They monitor all of the various people who have powers. They have giant organizations and systems in place for things like the Hollow Ghost thing that we saw in episodes 3 and 4.
Yep.
I mean, they are. I'm saying it's like Harry Potter because it's got that entire society that's built in that seems like it makes a lot of sense until you really start looking at it, because who do they sell these demon crystals to?
They sell the demon crystals to the demons themselves.
Well, in the show, they're selling
like
it
the
to
hunters
those
sell them
other
to the woman,
dream shades.
but what does she do with them?
Well, they sell it to. I mean, we don't know the full details only because it's only been like four episodes in, but essentially they're just traded in for money that you could just go purchase stuff in the real world.
But where does she get the money to sell them for? Or to buy them from the hunters?
Yeah,
for?
we don't know. We don't know that aspect.
Where's
of
the
show.
other end of that market?
You'll probably be finding that out soon, especially at the end of episode 4. Like, there's some like backdoor business going on, like right at the end of that episode.
Yeah, because the whole big evil demon was killed.
Oh,
and then it was
I didn't
worth,
watch
like,
after
nothing.
the credits.
Yeah, Jeanne, you might want to do that.
Oh shit!
It kind of.
Wait.
I mean,
is Jeanne
you
not
don't
cut
miss
up?
much, but I mean.
What, Tristan?
Is Jeanne not cut up? Is that what I missed, or what just happened?
No, I didn't watch after the credits of episode 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
where we
a,
discovered
there's
that
a
the crystal was only
with,
worth 200 yen.
There's a slight thing with just I forgot her name.
I get you though, like those dream shades that are just as humans.
Yeah. She hands the whatever the reward of killing the really large
the hollow shadow.
The hollow shadow. Yeah, she gives it to, I assume, is a higher power, but like.
So she lied to Mirai and gave her a rock and gave her 1,000 yen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, because I remember in the dinner she was like, "Oh, I can't believe this was only 1,000 yen. Oh my god, that's ridiculous." So she lied and switched it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
so there's something
like
going on here.
KyoAni did a very good job with that too, because you kind of see Can you give me her name again? I keep forgetting it.
Mirai.
Izume.
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Specify her.
Izumi Nase.
Izumi and yeah, her. You kind of see her like smirk right before the actual end of the fight, and that was pretty suggestive too, which kind of made me want to stay after the credits. It's just a very interesting cut that they had there. Yeah.
well, shit, I missed that. You know what? I was too involved with the little romance aspect that was in that show.
Oh yeah.
Towards the end, like the realization that Mirai had with
She's just a
Tatsuki-san.
bespeckled beauty.
Yeah.
Bespectacled.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get over that. Like, it always, every KyoAni anime I've ever seen, there's always has to be some kind of romantic undertone. It never fails.
Yeah.
Never fails.
Megane Bishojo.
And it's really nice too because it's exposed like the way that it's exposed, it's done. I'd like to say pretty well in the dialogue. Like it has this way of words that kind of just makes me interested, even though it's like the same thing that I'm watching over and over again. I don't know. It's just
Right.
it's just interesting to me.
Right. What were you saying, Ciaran?
I was just saying Megane Shoujo, but
Yeah.
I find it interesting
Megane
that
Bishojo, Kira.
There's a whole
Um,
different show about glasses fetish that we will not get
yeah,
into.
actually, it's something I've been noticing a lot in the KyoAni thing, where they have characters owning their fetishes a lot more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I have a big sister, or I have a little sister complex,
Right.
and he owns that. He just, I want to screw my little sister,
Right.
like nothing.
Like Oni-chan is a huge thing between the two of them. It's like just the affirmation of I'm going to do this now. I'm completely serious.
Right.
Onegai and Oni-chan. And he's like, yes, I will accept that as
Listen.
payment for the hell I'm about to go through.
Oni-chan is my line.
Don't you dare say it.
No one else says Oni-chan
God damn
besides me.
Ore no imoto no daisuki.
Oni-chan.
Oh, I love that.
Mm.
Okay. So basically what I'm getting from you guys is that you definitely see a lot of cliches in the show.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
it's
It's a Kyoto Ani show.
unoriginal.
They have certain things that they always fall back on. Like lately, they have been doing rather interesting risks. Like I would say, Free was their risk for the year, and
Oh,
now
yeah.
with Beyond, and now with Beyond the Boundary, they're just kind of playing it safe just for a
right,
season.
they're going
Okay.
back to right.
I have to disagree with you there, Tristan, because if anything was really a risk for KyoAni to take, I think it would have to be Kyoukai. I mean,
No,
that
no.
why? I demand an explanation.
I see what you're saying, Jordan.
Okay, no, it's I'm not saying that Hiroka wasn't a possible risk, but I'm talking about just for this year. Like Free was a big freaking risk.
Yeah.
And it paid off.
It paid off beautifully.
It was a risk, but like they knew I feel like they took the risk, but they also knew that it was going to be successful.
Yeah, it was like the
But-
people
Yeah.
that was doing it were just like, no, but it was still a risk overall. Like I'm pretty sure that they had to do a lot of convincing with some higher, like some group of like the creative people behind Free probably had to like pull the higher up's arm quite a bit just to get that show out the door. But it finally worked, and it paid
Hell
off
yeah, it
beautifully. But there's only so many times you can like keep doing risks. They do eventually need some safe series, and I feel like this one is one of their safe series.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
another
mean,
thing is, Jordan, with Hyoka, I don't think they planned it to be a risk. It just turned out to be a risk. Like, they weren't expecting it to not
Blow
do
up.
as well. Exactly. As opposed to Free, where they felt like, okay, well, we don't know how this is going to turn out, but let's fucking do it anyway. And it just ended up being good. I don't think they knew that with Hyoka.
I wonder what they were thinking with Tamako Market.
Oh, I don't know. I
Who
didn't
knows?
watch
Like,
that show.
I mean, that is getting a second season, and
It's such a fucking huge letdown too, because I mean, like after Kyoukai, I mean, I was particularly impressed because I mean, I said this before in my review, but it was such a huge departure from what KyoAni is from what we're accustomed to seeing from KyoAni. So, well, maybe KyoAni is going to look at this and say, hey, people like this. Maybe we should do some something more like that. I thought we were going to get like a season 2 or something. Then you go Tomoko Market, really, like a girl talking to a fucking bird.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it wasn't.
Well, be fair. I mean, animation studios are always really slow to change in general. They're very fearful.
Well, not only that, but there's also the fact of the matter of that Hiroko was based off a light novel series, wasn't
I still love how you say Hiroko.
Kyoka is based off an actual.
Yeah,
Kyoka is based off an actual novel.
Okay,
series.
well,
It's
then
still
my question
ongoing.
is, how far ahead is the novel series from where the actual series ended? Because if there isn't enough material to continue on, that's probably why they haven't gone for a second season yet.
I think that there are 2 books left to cover.
Out of how many?
Probably we would. Out of hang on, let me check it.
But is it going off the actual book itself? Because
Yeah,
I thought
it's
that
been-
Hyoka, the anime, was just going off based off of that novel, and then it just like aspirated from there. Like they just created their own shit from the idea of the book.
No. It's because actually the books have been around for a while. Like the first one was published in 2001, and the latest one, the 5th book, was published 2010.
So if one season was about 3 books, they might just be holding off so that they have another 3 books to work with.
Yeah, exactly. Or they could make like an OVA or a movie or something.
So
Probably
so the sales were good for it.
Oh, I think they have a special.
Yeah, they have a special, but I mean, it's not. I think it was made during the actual. It was taking place inside like the timeline of the 3 books that they were covering.
So the sales for Hyoka were really good.
From what I've gathered, yeah, and the response to it has been pretty much overwhelmingly positive, more so than than I think what KyoAni was expecting.
Because it was a pretty good show. I mean, I would like it to succeed. I mean, actually while watching it, like it kind of was like the butt end of jokes for a while for me because, well, I just didn't really see it, and I didn't really realize its full potential until like I watched the whole entire thing.
It's because this is something that I've also explained to some people who kind of don't get it. It's that it's one of those shows. It's kind of like Serial Experiments Lane in a way, in that in order to fully get it, in order to fully understand what's going on, you just have to really concentrate. You have to really, you have to really be fully immersed in it. And with Hyoka, it's kind of hard because the pacing is very slow and it's very deliberate, and because the pacing moves very, very deliberately, it can drag for some people. Like I admit that it did for me at a couple of points, but I mean, if you give it time, then you just have to be able to stick with it and be very patient, and you'll be able to understand it.
I don't know, it's sad because I wasn't liking Hyoka at all until the last 2 episodes where KyoAni threw in their romantic undertones.
So here's
like
my
they do in
question for
every
you.
The
show.
biggest fucking tease ever.
I know, it's
I
like,
swear to
fucking
God.
damn you!
Here's my question for you, Jeanne, and it's probably a
What?
question that anybody else can answer if they have the same mindset of Jeanne.
Yeah.
If you don't like a show, how do you get so far as the last 2 episodes to begin with?
Okay, I'll take this first while Jeanne is thinking about it because I can actually speak from personal experience. Like when I was going through the terror that was Eureka 7AO, I don't even know how I fucking finished the entire thing, let alone let alone watched it in the first place. But I think that the thing was the problem with it is that it teased so much that if you just stick with us, here's what we can do. Here's how we can turn this whole thing around. Like that's how it got to a point. Like it was at I think it was episode 13 or something when like the Gecko state from the ship from the first series came out of that asteroid or whatever. But I mean the fact is that they kept teasing and they kept waving like this big. They kept waving like a piece of candy in front of you, and then once you reach out to grab it, the more kind of like walking back and back and back, and by the time you try to reach out to grab the piece of candy, they throw it into a fire. And that's pretty much my experience with anime that turn out badly, yet you end up watching the entire thing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm just kind of a really stubborn son of a bitch. I will watch stuff that I know is bad. I will re-watch stuff that I know is bad.
You're such a
Well,
masochist.
at least you're not like
See
Jimmy.
me rewatching Fruits Basket.
What's wrong with Fruits Basket?
You didn't watch Fruits Basket. Both me and you were playing Pokemon, okay?
Hey, but that's because we knew exactly what was happening in the episodes.
Nothing is wrong with Fruits Basket.
Many
Yeah,
things
fuck
are wrong
you,
with Fruits
Ciaran.
Basket.
Fuck you, Ciaran.
I mean,
Get
yeah,
out of this
wrong.
podcast.
Look, the manga for Fruits Basket is an excellent story. The anime adaptation has a lot of problems,
Well, yeah, but we're not.
most of which are summed up by saying Toru Honda.
Yeah, well, we're just talking about the anime itself. We're not talking about with the adaptations.
Oh, I'm not
But,
even talking. Like a
the
lot of my
anime is
problems
the
with Fruits
adaptation.
Basket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know, but
a lot of my problems with the anime.
I mean, Tristan, don't you say when you review, you always think of the anime series as its own self?
Yeah.
You never relate to what the manga is like when you review your
well,
animes,
and I do that,
you?
but my
No.
problem with
No, I
Fruits
don't.
Basket
See?
is
So,
Toru.
I mean, come on.
Ultimately,
Fruits Basket is still kind of crap.
No, it's
my problem
not.
is Toru. She's a really flat, really
Are we really getting into a Fruits
terrifying-
Basket conversation? We're supposed to be talking about Beyond the Boundary.
Exactly.
I think
Exactly.
we've like
Let's
veered
get
off
back.
that for like the longest
Let's
time.
get back.
Okay, so anyway, to answer Tristan's question, I watched it even though I wasn't liking it with the hopes that it was going to change my mind.
Yeah,
Basically.
I mean, like because that's the same thing with me. Like it was slow as many of you have pointed out. But yeah, no, like I wanted to see like it get better like every week, and at some point
Right.
it ended up doing that. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I remember at least for the first half, like I was mainly watching it because there are multiple reasons. Like I love KyoAni things generally. So it's kind of like my fanboyism.
Yeah,
that
Kenneth,
I'm
you're
like-
known for like the moe blob slice of life.
Yeah, no, so
animes.
like I was okay with Hyoka to an extent, and then like it kind of got boring for a while. But I wanted it to do better, so I just kept checking in every week. I mean, it was the way I saw it. It was only 22 minutes out of my life, which for some people is a lot, but for me during the school year, it's like whatever. I'm wasting time. I'm gonna procrastinate other ways anyway. So yeah, no, I just went through and watched it, and I eventually got like something out of it. So I mean, I don't exactly. I wouldn't say that it was something I completely hated.
I think it's also because you don't expect a lot
Yeah,
from
I don't.
specific shows.
Yeah.
I know, to be honest with you, when I watch any KyoAni show, I do not expect the best thing. And I went in with the same mindset when I watched Kyoukai no Kanata. I know that like KyoAni is not going to make like the next fucking Fate Zero ever. Okay? We all know
But they
that.
may make the next clan ad.
Mm.
Well, they pretty much
Well,
missed
okay.
that chance when they could have adapted Little Buster.
Here's the
Okay,
thing.
wait, no. To be fair, I started I literally finished and caught up with where Little Busters is right now, and I gotta hand it to JC staff. They are actually doing a pretty decent job. I don't know what KyoAni would have done. Obviously, that's beyond what I could imagine.
No, it's beyond what most people could imagine.
But like
Beyond your boundaries,
beyond the
you might say.
boundaries.
Yeah.
Beyond the boundary.
I love that pun. No, but like
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
good though. It's not bad. But I like KyoAni. I think that's past KyoAni's time though. They moved on from sort of working on the key stuff and the Haruhis and the Full Metal Panics, and now they're just trying
Well,
to
that's how they made their
do
name. So
random
now
things. Yeah.
basically all they've been adapting right now are things that they own or have
Yeah.
published.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Because Beyond the
Yeah.
Boundary, yeah, it was I think it was either a manga or a light novel.
It was manga.
it's
But it was-
Light
it's
novel.
part of
Yeah,
that.
but it was
the
light-
light
published
novel
by
Oh, it
Kyoto
is.
Annie.
Published by KyoAni,
Yeah.
after a
So-
contest.
Okay, but
They
here's the
have
thing
like
though.
the full rights to the story. That's all they've been doing over the last little while.
But here's the thing though. Like all of those stories that KyoAni publishes, or at least more recently, like none of them have won their contest. It's like they're all part of this contest, and they've all just received honorable mentions. Yeah. So what I'm kind of waiting for out of like the news that I check every day is kind of like one story that'll break through and KyoAni will say like it won, because then that'll get my hopes up that we'll see something better than Kyoukai
Like
no Kanata.
Haruhi?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like something
Honestly,
like Haruhi.
yeah, Haruhi, the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya is like the Fate Zero of KyoAni.
Yeah,
I guess.
no,
you could say
it's a fair thing to say. But like, no, exactly. It's just like if they find that one story where they're like, oh my god, we need to give this first place, our grand prize, then you'll know that we'll get something really good. Either that or KyoAni is just bonkers. But
well, it's quite possible that they are just bonkers.
Well, I think what KyoAni's doing with all of these runner-up projects.
I mean,
that too.
You forget though, Kenneth. You forget that not every competition nowadays in today's politically correct world, not every competition gives out first place, second place, because everybody's a winner. Everybody wins. Everybody gets a trophy, and everybody goes home happy.
True.
So wait. Is this bad to think, like, after this conversation that Kenneth just had, how I see KyoAni is basically they're a bunch of incest that stay within their own bloodline.
That's
make
a
their
bad way
shit.
of looking at it. No, I wouldn't say that they're like that at all. I actually like the fact that they are only working and adapting things that they own. Because
They're within their
there are too many
boundaries.
groups out there that rely on the whole adaptation business. They rely on the existing fan base of a property, and then they just adapt it to make money.
Right.
Exactly.
Kyoto Ani,
Exactly.
they own the properties, but most of them are completely untested. So to adapt
Especially
it,
free.
it has no fan base. Like Beyond the Boundary probably didn't have almost any fan base when the show started. So it's like they can't cater to an existing fan base. They just make their own fan base as they go, which I prefer.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and looking at some of the staffing choices that KyoAni's made with a lot of these runner-up adaptations, I think they're also working to build like a dream team within their offices that they know that they can hand anything to, and they'll get that no matter what they're handed, they'll get something great. Because this time around, they've added a new script writer who's doing the actual adaptation from the light novel to the anime.
Oh wow.
And this is
the
Juki
director
Hanada.
Is a new guy. And
Yeah.
The director is a new guy too.
Hell, I think
and the script-
some of the voice actors are probably new too.
Yeah,
Like, just
the
looking at it.
script writer this time around is Juki Hanada, and it's interesting that Jean mentioned that she thought this reminded her of Chunibyo, because Juki Hanada did the script adaptations for Chunibyo,
Oh my god.
and Chobits, and Ah My Goddess, and Magical Shopping District of Benabashi,
Oh, Benabashi.
Wow.
and Fate Stay Night. Like, this
Really?
person has some really interesting stuff on their resume, and now they're working for KyoAni
Wow.
as the person who takes whatever they are handed and turns it into an anime.
Well, the thing is like I am
here's the
kind of
problem,
excited
though.
because okay, we'll get to your problem in a second. But what or maybe we won't, because now that I had to stop my train of thought and correct you,
Yeah.
you have derailed my train of thought, Jordan. So enjoy the spotlight. Go.
Okay. Here's the problem with the staff, though. I mean, I know that Ciaran, you mentioned that the scriptwriter is pretty much a veteran of the industry at this point, but the director who's running the show here, he's this new guy who's just this is his first real project.
He's not that new. Taichi Ishidate has been doing his working through everything for a while. This is his first time directing alone, but he did episode direction for Clanad and After Story. He did episode direction for Hyoka. He did episode direction for K-On! And Lucky Star.
Yeah, but the point that I'm making is, firstly, episode direction and direction of a whole series are two completely different things. And
It's true, but
And secondly, this guy, all the anime that you listed, they're all from KyoAni. So this guy has had no experience working on any series other than the ones that KyoAni has made. And
To be
I see
fair,
that
that's
as
going to
a
be the same
potential.
for most places, because when you get hired at a company, chances are that's where you're going to stay.
yeah, I honestly think he's kind of been the person they've been training up, because I'm looking through his resume, and yes, it's all KyoAni, but he's worked up from key animation through episode direction. He's been assistant director on a few things. He was on the Nichijou OAV as an assistant director. I like Nichijou.
I love Nietzsche.
It was
Fuck
silly and stupid.
No, I just could not wrap my head around it. I just didn't like it.
And he was an assistant unit director on Free.
So-
Say that for another time.
What we're going to do now is we're going to go round table, and we're going to
Yep.
give rather quickly our overall thoughts based on the 4 episodes so far, what we would like to see, and will we actually continue from this point. So let's start with Jeanne.
Oh, I wanted to go last, Tristan.
Okay, fine. Fine.
Go the other way around the table.
Jordan, Mr. Spotlight, go.
Jordan.
Oh, me. Mr. Spotlight. You guys said Mr. Spotlight. Wait, who is that? I can't be the Spotlight. I'm the bottom bitch, right next after Jimmy. Okay, but here's the thing that my general impression is that KyoAni is both, testing the waters and playing it safe at the same time. They're sticking to the cliches or tropes, depending on how harsh of a critic you are of the studio, that they're associated with, that they know have worked before. At the same time, though, it's clear to me that this show is going to go in a different direction than what most KyoAni shows have done, because all of the promotion and the advertising for this show has made it very clear that this is going to be action oriented. So my guess is for the remaining, what is it now, like 8 episodes left, that the show is going to be more action oriented, more plot driven, not so much character driven. And personally, I think that's what needs to happen. Because KyoAni realizes, as well as anybody else, that the trend that they've been riding on, the Moe girl trend, and I've said this before, is kind of tapered off. It's not really that big a deal anymore. So I think that they realize that they need to try something different, and I think that they're going to go the action route for the remainder of the series.
So, do you think you're going to continue watching it until the end, or are you going to drop it?
No, I think I've been impressed with it. I mean, I've certainly been impressed by the fact that the animation in episode 4 is just phenomenal. It's actually very Shaft-esque. I was reminded several times of different surrealist sequences I've seen in Shaft anime. So I definitely going to stick with it. It's just that I guess you could just say I'm approaching it with very cautious optimism.
Okay, all right. Kenneth, what about you now?
Okay, so the thing about Kyoukai no Kanata and a bunch of other shows that I was looking forward to this season is that a lot of them really didn't hook me as much as I wanted them to. For some reason, this show, I mean, the first episode was pretty good, but this is going to the second and third episode, I wasn't really hooked into it. And I don't know if that's just because I was expecting something completely different. I was expecting full on Moe blob slice of life. I just set myself a wrong bar or something. But no, I'm starting to change my mindset a little bit, and in particular with the 4th episode, I'm for sure loving the direction that it's taking. I'm not really sure what it's going to do exactly, apart from the fact that it's going to just reveal a whole lot more about the world it's in. But I mean, I guess maybe the one thing that I want to see is it really develop its setting. I want it to kind of show us more, because the thing about it is, I mean, even just speaking as broadly as what they're showing us with this particular town or city or world, I have no sense of really where they are and what's going on. Or no, I shouldn't say no, but little sense. Because I mean, it takes place in a school, takes place in this town. I haven't really seen much of that, though. It's mostly I mean, just going as far as the technical things, I mean, I've rarely seen any establishing shots or anything for this town. I don't know if it's this huge place or just this little tiny town, and the school also. I don't even remember thinking what the school looks like at all.
Yeah.
I actually haven't spent any time in a classroom. We just know that it takes place at a school because that's what
they're high school students.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, because KyoAni does not know how to do anything else except at a high school.
Yeah.
Well, because all the freaking Dream Shade hunters are from the literature club.
Yeah. And there's that one scene.
Not to Hyokan.
Yeah.
No, and
shout out.
And there was that one scene where Mirai was going after one of those yomus in it was in this abandoned house, and and Nase Mitsuki just like is like there and kills the dream shade for her because Mirai couldn't do it. I didn't know what the setting was. Like I wanted to kind of see more around it. That's just a little thing though, but it's just something I want to see more. Like I want to see this world. Like I want to see all of it. Like I think the one show that kind of did that for me, but didn't really do that much in the story was Gargantia. It's like, though it was simple, but I got an idea of like the ships and the general world, and it was really cool. The story wasn't really that great, but I was so engrossed in that world that I wanted to know more. In this world,
I understand what you're saying.
In this world, I don't really have any motivation to find out more. I know it's going to. I don't care. It's just. I want it to make me care. And it's getting there, but it's not quite there yet. And I'm trying my best to articulate like my whole opinion, but it's not. I don't think it's really working too well. But I mean, that's basically my my thoughts of.
That's your 2 cents. Yeah. All right. So you're gonna continue to watch it with the hopes that you're going to be able to be suspended from this sense of disbelief.
Wait, what was? I'm sorry.
Like, I used big words for once.
Bravo, Jean. I'm proud of you.
I know. So basically, you're going to continue to watch it, right, Kenneth?
Yeah.
But the main reason why you're going to continue to watch it is because it's entertaining, but at the same time, you're hoping that you're going to be able to know more about the anime, more about where they are in their situation.
Yeah, just basically just like Kyoka. Like, I want it to succeed, so I'm going to watch with the hopes that it will succeed. And plus Mirai is also like really adorable though. I feel like it feels very contrived, but I don't care. But no, it's entertaining, yeah, as you said. I if anything, I'll latch on for that. But yeah, for sure I want to see it succeed, so that's what will keep me going.
All right. And Ciaran?
I'm really in the same boat as Kenneth. I'm a sucker for good world building, and the scale of the setting in Beyond the Boundary is really disappointing to me, because you don't know how large the school is. I barely see other students. Like, they'll go to the lunchroom and you'll see a couple of other people, but
like that Fonz guy.
But the actual exterior shot of the school, like the 3 times we've seen it, it looks freaking huge.
Yeah.
So there's no sense of scale. There's no real explanation for how this world works. But there are enough teases. Like, that's what got me into the series with episode 1. They had teased enough of an interesting world that I was like, I'm interested in seeing this.
Because you feel like there is a world there. You feel like it's there, it's big, it's great. They're just not showing you
and then they're
any
not
of it.
explaining it. Yeah. So the following 3 episodes have been steadily making me lose interest because I'm just not getting what I came into the series for.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but yeah, like, that's essentially it. Like, you know it's there, but only God knows why they're not showing it to us.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up really enjoying Gargantia because they gave that to me. I had a sense of the weight and the scope of the ships and how Chamber made everything different from being on the ships. And every design within that was so beautifully done that you could understand immediately just by looking at the artwork what kind of space the characters were inhabiting and what kind of world it was.
Right.
Like, there was a sense of weightlessness when they were doing the space battles in the first episode of Gargantia. And then, as soon as he's on Earth, there's suddenly weight and gravity and confinement, but at the same time open space.
So the setting is very important to you,
I'm a sucker for world building. Yeah. It's why I actually love Clamp and hate Clamp, because when they do it well. And when they don't do it, they still do it just enough that you feel like there should be more.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to stick with Beyond the Boundary at least till episode 6 is where I'm at.
Okay.
I'm giving it a little bit more time because they've now established here is our big reveal for the first 4 episodes. Here's the secret about the male lead.
Right.
which I think is what they were building for the entire first 4 episodes.
Yeah. It was character driven, like
Yeah.
Jordan said earlier. Okay. All right. And Tristan?
Well, I went into it mainly because it was just a KyoAni work, and lately I have been really enjoying a lot of the KyoAni stuff. I didn't get to see Tamako Market, but I saw Free and I saw...
You didn't miss a
Yeah,
fucking
you're.
thing.
I mean, as much as I love it, you didn't miss anything.
Okay, so I missed that one, but I saw Free, I saw Chinibrio, I saw Hiroka, and I was really interested, and I really enjoyed all of those shows, so I went into it hoping for good things. And so far, I'm not totally disappointed. Like, I agree with Kenneth and I agree with Ciaran about the whole world building thing. That's not there. I wish it was. But I prefer, well, as much as I do like the world building stuff, I also really like just the character driven stuff. And we're at a point now at episode 4 where we're still being teased to shit, but episode 4 kind of resolved a lot of that by letting us know the general backgrounds of our 2 main characters and the secrets that they weren't telling anyone. And now I'm interested again because that happened.
And done well too at that. Like,
Yeah,
I was kind of shocked
And
at how
animated
well it
really
was.
well,
Oh
too.
yeah.
Now, there's still a lot of things that don't make sense to me. Like, I still don't get the fact that Akihito is immortal. They explain, oh, well, that's because he's half Yoma. And I was like, okay, so does that mean full Yomas are immortal? That doesn't make sense because you have a whole group of people that can kill them. So why does being half Yoma make him immortal? That makes no sense. So they still really haven't explained that.
I think that's going to be based on who his father actually is.
Which is probably a big thing.
Yeah.
Based on how powerful he was when his half Yomo side awoke.
Right.
Mhm.
The other thing that I saw, it's just one of those questions that kind of, like, I'm just not really sure of. So we saw Mirai stab Akihito in the beginning. So
Right.
so she did that, but at the same time, she doesn't have the motivation to do that with other creatures.
Well, that's why she was stabbing him all the time. She was practicing on him to get over her fear of killing Yoma.
But like, just in the sense of the first time, though. Like,
I think she knew that he was half Yomu.
Did she?
She must have.
I don't think she did. Not in the very
No,
first
because
time she met him.
no, because
she was
most
shocked,
of them
though.
as hunters, they know.
No. She
They know
knows
who-
because, like, when she first went to that store, she realized that the girl that they met and also the
Yes.
storekeeper were Yoma. There's like
Yep.
this innate sense.
But in the very first time that she meets Akihito, how does she know he'll survive it? Like,
She doesn't.
So the very
she just
first
thinks
time-
he's Yoma, so she's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
but she
and she
can't
gets
kill,
over her
though.
fear at that point,
She
and then
holds
realizes
back.
that she can't kill him, and she's
But
like, "Oh well,
here's
sweet."
the thing: you have to think about like the you have to think about the atmosphere of the first couple minutes of that show. They were pretty dark. He was thinking that she was gonna jump off the bridge.
She
Commit
probably
suicide.
was, for all we
So
know.
she
She's
was
not in her
probably-
right mind.
Exactly. Yeah. So she was in a completely different mindset as usual because she was completely dark in the beginning.
It could have been she was going to kill herself, and then she sensed him, so then she was like, okay, if I can kill him, then maybe I'm
Right.
okay.
It's like, oh, I have reasoning. Let's kill him. And then, oh, he doesn't die. And then she just forgets about kind of committed suicide altogether. But she was in a different mindset. In the
I feel like
beginning.
I
I do.
see. Okay.
It could
I
be.
could agree with
It
that.
could be possibly that she was going to commit suicide, but then she got in her mind, if I do kill this guy, then I'm okay and I can continue
Yeah.
to do this. But then he doesn't
Maybe
die,
I have some kind
and
of
that's why
worth.
she keeps trying to kill him because
Okay.
she has
Yeah.
it set in her mind that if she can kill this guy, that she'll be okay.
All right, so
Yeah.
that kind of answers it, because like that's just the one thing I didn't get. But no, like that didn't really come to mind. Like, yeah, she's about to commit suicide. That probably changed a lot. Like,
Right.
rather, there's a contrast in mindset between then and what we're seeing now. So,
She
yeah, that
was,
makes sense.
if it wasn't suicide, she was at least contemplating something really seriously.
Yeah.
Like, but Tristan, are you done saying what you want to say?
Well, the only thing that's left is whether or not I'm going to continue watching it.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
am. It's actually one of the few shows that I have still on my Crunchyroll queue that I'm actually planning to continue to watch. I've dropped quite a number of things
Right.
besides this, but I'm still going with it, and I will probably watch it all the way to the end, regardless of if it goes downhill from here, because, you know,
That's what you
I'm like that because I feel like the good can be there. I'm not hating watching it. If I hated to watch it, I wouldn't. But I'm not hating watching
Tristan,
it. I'm just
Tristan,
hoping
if it
for it to be good.
goes down the route
Yes.
of AO,
Yes.
get out. You don't want to suffer through that. Trust me, man.
Okay, let's be serious. Do you really think anything could go as bad as AO?
I mean,
I agree with you that if it did,
I
would
don't know,
dump
but
it like
I mean
a sack
that's
of
just
potatoes,
my
but
fear. That if it goes down that route, I don't want to see you suffer, my friend.
I am used to suffering, my friend. I am used to it.
He is a magical girl.
He does have pretty hair.
The magical girl of suffering.
Tristan is Homura.
So what am I, if he's Homura?
The cameraman.
You're-
Okay.
You're the blue-haired one that dies early.
Okay. Thanks.
You watch it with us.
Yeah. Okay. So, first, I just want to add my one little thing of disbelief that I had with the show before going with my conclusion or my overall thoughts of the show. The one thing I have that I've kind of had to like shut off my mind for was Mirai, how she's sort of bipolar physically, like how she's completely klutzy and clumsy and falls over a lot. But then in episode 4, you see her jumping on fucking trucks, doing backflips and doing like triple circles in the air while jumping and doing like crazy acrobatic moves.
She hasn't
Yeah.
tripped in a while.
Remember that this is anime.
Serves me right.
Yeah.
Okay, now, well,
Actually, I have an explanation for that. I have a theory for that.
Okay, so
That's just
Ciaran,
like
Ciaran,
her character is that she's a clumsy character, and then she
But I have a
does
theory
that.
for this.
Okay,
what is
what's
your
the
theory? I want to hear
'Cause when
Kieran's
she's-
theory.
Because when she's clumsy, she's wearing the sealing ring.
Ah.
Because all her powers are bound in her blood. And when she's doing the crazy hunter shit, she's taken the ring off and is using her blood and has her powers.
But was the ring off when she was running towards the woods?
I think so, yes.
That makes a lot of
Okay.
sense. That could be a kind of thing of like when she was growing up, she didn't have the ring, so she learned to move and just get around generally without the ring on. And then when the ring came on, her powers were muted and she doesn't have them anymore, so she becomes klutzy.
Okay. All right. I will.
I mean, I'd have to go back and do a check of each time she's a klutz and each time she's not a klutz, but
Yeah.
it seems to have held up from my memory.
Okay. So I'll agree with that for now, unless I see something else. But overall, I'm really enjoying the show a lot more than I thought I would. At first, going in, when I first heard of Beyond the Boundary, first I was skeptical because the main genre of the show is supposed to be dark fantasy. So I was thinking of a more thriller-esque show, and I was like, well, how can KyoAni pull this off? Going in, it's not a dark fantasy. And am I a little disappointed about that? Yeah. But back to what Jordan was saying, that this is more action-filled. And I really like that for what it is. And also, I look more for, like, after listening to all of your opinions, I guess I look more for character-driven plots than the setting of the show or the story of the show, because I feel like the characters carry on the show itself. And I feel like they're doing a really good job because there is chemistry between the characters. And the plot is, for what it is right now, pretty steady with not a whole lot of faults. I mean, for it being only 4 episodes in, it's doing a good job. I mean, are they going to be able to make me completely satisfied by 11 episodes? Probably not. We probably won't be able to see the whole world how it is, or we won't be able to see the spiritual world, what it's like. But I feel like it's doing a pretty damn good job right now, and I'm going to continue watching it. It's reminded me so much of Chunibyo. Chunibyo is something I hold really close to my heart because for me, it was like a shock factor watching that show. And Kyoukai no Kanata is basically like its twin sister or fraternal twin, whatever. So let me get it right the third time.
You mentioned the point that you
What?
know. You said that you like character-driven plots, and you know none of us are discounting that character-driven stories can be good and that they have their place. Like for example, going from a personal example, like my favorite anime of all time is Eureka 7. That's the plot of that show was completely character-driven, you know, and I love that show to death. But the thing about it is, you know, there's a point where where something gets done over and over and over again that it becomes tiring. And the thing with KyoAni is that they have that the stories of all of their animes have always been character driven. There's never really been a single one that there was some kind of overarching story behind it where the characters were all just kind of actors. Like that they were, sort of just taking part in this overall in a general action towards some kind of goal. It's just them interacting with each other. The problem is that KyoAni has never really done that, and what drove me to Kyoukai no Kanata was this idea that that the focus is not so much on the characters anymore. And that's what I'd like to see more of. Just to clarify.
And with that, I think it's a good time to wrap everything up. So, do you want me to do the outro, Jean? Or since you did the intro, would you like to take it away?
I'll take it away. So, guys, I'm Jeanne from Anime Appraisal, and with me today I had Tristan from Glass Reflection.
Stay frosty, everyone.
And I had Kenneth from Full Circle Reviews.
Stay circular.
And I have Ciaran from CinWicked Reviews.
Keep wicked.
And I have Jordan from History Man ZP.
I'm History Man, and I'll see you next time.
I like how you didn't copy the rest of the guys.
Damn it,
with saying
we were
that.
so close.
Yeah.
We were doing a thing here, Jordan.
Kenneth wanted you to do it because then we would have gone
Okay.
full circle.
Okay, but here's the thing.
No,
I don't
it's
have,
okay.
I don't have anything that I could really use. Like, keep it historical.
Stay circular.
No,
Stay historical.
Jordan.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
That's a good
Jordan,
message for
it's
kids,
okay.
though. We should use that.
Listen, it's okay. You know why? Do you know why it's okay, Jordan?
Why?
Because
Why?
you went
Why?
outside of you went beyond the boundaries.
Oh,
See what I did
yourself.
there?
We are so sorry, everyone.
No, we're not.
All right,
We
let's
should be,
fucking
but
end
we're
it.
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo!
Done.
Yay!
Yeah.
Done.
That was awesome.
Fuck you, Jean.